Welcome to the 8th convening of Race4Race. I'm Ayanna Thompson, Regents Professor in the Department of English here at Arizona State University and the Director of the Arizona Center for Medieval and Renaissance Studies. Thanks. ACMRS and Race4Race acknowledge the 23 Native nations that have inhabited this land for centuries. Arizona State University's 4 campuses are located in the Salt River Valley on ancestral territories of indigenous peoples, including the Akimel O'odham and Pipash Indian communities, whose care and keeping of these lands allows us to be here today. We acknowledge the sovereignty of these nations and seek to foster an environment of success and possibility for Native American colleagues, students, and collaborators. As many of you know, Race4Race began as an act of scholarly justice to create an alternative conference series that would build a professional community for scholars of color working on issues of race in pre-modern literature, history, and culture. At its heart, Race4Race aims to change the older, hyper-competitive, and hyper-status conscious conference model by being a space in which everyone can and should be nurtured intellectually, professionally, and personally. We welcome you into this new intellectual model and invite you to envision other ways to spur our professions to innovate and to be more inclusive. We'd love to hear from you with any ideas that you might have that might have been generated from you at this conference. As part of our plan to help pre-modern critical race scholars network, we have invited key personnel from publishing here today. If you're an editor at a press, would you mind standing and introducing yourself? Woohoo! Okay, can you, a mic is coming to you.
Hi, I'm Jenny Tan. I am an acquisitions editor at Penn Press, acquiring in medieval and early modern studies. I acquire for the Middle Ages series and most pertinently the Race4Race series. So I'd be glad to talk to anyone about the press, the series, even just sort of publishing matters, pen-related and non-directly pen-related in general, and yeah.
Thanks for being here, Jenny. We have another publisher. Oh, wait, yes.
Thanks. Hey, I'm Jade Grogan. I'm with the Arden Shakespeare.
She came all the way from the UK to be with us.
Yeah, straight in from London. So yeah, it's really nice to see a lot of you, and I hope to get to talk to our publishing with any of you who want to chat about our new series, the editors on the press. Me and Jenny and Mahinda from Cornell are doing a little publishing talk at the Institute of Humanities Research in about an hour. So yeah, if any of you want to come to that as well, it'd be great. I'm doing early modern culture on Arden Shakespeare, as well as the 4th series of plays, which Ayanna is contributing to. So yeah, it'd be great to talk to any of you. Nice to see you.
Thanks for being here, Jade. And we have one more.
Hi everybody, I'm Jeff Way. I am the manager of publishing futures for ACMRS Press. In that role, I serve as the managing editor for the Sundial and Borrows and Lenders, as well as acquire titles for our open access series in medieval and Renaissance studies. You can see many of our books both out and forthcoming out on the table out here, and always glad to talk about your potential project ideas.
Thank you, Jeff, for being here. Are there any editors of journals here? If you're an editor of a journal or an editor of a book series? Oh, yes. All right, stand.
Hi, everybody. I'm Farah Corinne Cooper, and I'm a general editor for the Arden Critical Intersection series, which is an edited collection. Ruben's just putting one out just now. We just saw the cover, actually. So if you're interested in editing essays on any topic, so we've got Shakespeare and Sense, Shakespeare and Skin is the one that Ruben is editing. Come and talk to me.
Thank you, Farah. Great. So these lovely colleagues are here for you. So please take time if you have projects that you'd like to pitch or advice that you'd like to get. Another facet of our thinking about what conferences can and should do is to anticipate some unspoken needs in the profession. Many early career scholars do not have professional headshots like the one that we include in our gorgeous program. So we are offering free professional headshots for anyone who's here today. All you have to do is sign up at the registration table. The photos will be taken between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So you sign up for a 15-minute slot, and then you can get your headshot. We'll send it to you in digital form. It's yours to use however you'd like in your profession. This iteration of the Race Before Race Symposium focuses on poetics. And I have to admit that as a student, I did not feel welcome into the intellectual and scholarly discussions about poetry. They seemed like foreign lands for which I never had the right passport or visa. It has taken me years to understand that the racializing logic, rhetoric, and epistemologies of pre-modern poetics are both a reality that creates these feelings of alienation for many BIPOC students and readers, and a playful space that can afford pathways to liberation. To quote Fred Moten, one of our distinguished speakers tonight, quote, "Can I kick it with a missing apostrophe, or the typography of the S, or the accidental duplication of a pair of eyes? What happens in the transition from the fair youth to the dark lady? What is the significance of the truncation of that transition, the absence of the couplet, the change in form from the celebration of the impossible procreation of the sonnet to the fear of the procreative blackness beauty that has undermined all previous standards?" And of course, that is a quote from In the Break. Questions like these render pre-modern poetics a space in which it is vital to ask questions about race, racial formation, intersectionality, and the possibility for radical transformation. In that spirit, our speakers this year are classicists, medievalists, and early modernists who are all addressing issues of race in pre-modern poetics. As this symposium features scholars in different fields, we have structured it to inspire and produce more conversation than a typical conference allows. We are hoping for a robust dialogue, not only from the featured panelists, but also with you, our amazing audience members. Therefore, each presenter has 45 minutes allotted to them, but not all of that time will be for a formal presentation. Rather, we have asked each presenter to talk for only half of that time, and then to design the talk to flow into a discussion or workshop that asks methodological, archival, theoretical, and/or practical questions. So, audience, be prepared to participate throughout the day. However, please be mindful and look around the room before you raise your hand to participate. As part of the structural change that Race Before Race asks, we are asking that scholars of color, women, and early career scholars be given the opportunity to ask their questions first. So, of course, for issues of accessibility, please use a microphone as well. So just look around the room and be mindful if you're raising your hand before some others. Symposia like Race Before Race require a lot of planning and care, and the executive board must be acknowledged and thanked for helping to conceptualize, organize, and fundraise on behalf of Race Before Race. Please stand to be recognized for your tireless work. Patricia Akimi, David Sterling Brown. Sita Chaganti is not with us today, but remain standing. Don't even try that. Urvashi Chakravarti, I think I saw her. Yay! Ruben Espinosa. Kim Hall can't be with us today. Jonathan Shu, Farah Kareem Cooper, Dorothy Kim, Noemi Ndaye, I think, is having a baby as we speak. Danelle Padilla Peralta, new to the board. Shakufe Razabzadeh can't be here. Carla Maria Thomas, and Cord Whitaker. Thank you, colleagues, for being amazing. Oh, and Scott Stevens, sorry. You're on here and I just, sorry. And Scott Stevens and Cord Whitaker. Sorry, Scott. So sorry about that. The second round of thanks must go to Arizona State University for putting into practice its charter that the institution will be measured not by whom it excludes, but by whom it includes and how they succeed. It is no accident that Race Before Race was initially conceived and funded by an institution that thinks that there should be no tension between access, excellence, and impact. I want to thank President Michael Crow and the President's Office for providing ACMRS with strategic initiative funding for this symposium. I would also like to thank the best dean in the world. Please stand, Jeffrey Jerome Cohen, and the college's Division of Humanities for their financial and intellectual support. And finally, I would like to thank Ron Brolio and the Institute for Humanities Research for underwriting this iteration of Race Before Race. Additional financial support for Race Before Race has come from, I can't even believe this now, the Mellon Foundation, the HITS Foundation, and the Henry Luce Foundation. I would also like to thank everyone who gave to the Travel Fund for Early Career Researchers. Because of your support, which came in various monetary amounts, ACMRS was able to grant 15 travel awards. Please consider adding to this gift so that Race Before Race can continue to support our courageous early career researchers. And I'll just note, every single penny that comes in for this, we give out in travel awards, so we're not taking anything off for, you know, operating costs or anything like that. Finally, and probably most importantly, I want to thank the ACMRS staff. Leah, Terry, M, Taylor, Sue, Sarah, Jeff, Roy, and Todd, who are all around the back here. It looks easy to put something like this on. It is not at all. They have worked long hours, and if you can, take a moment to thank them personally in the remaining days. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our upcoming ACMRS events. Tonight at 6 o'clock in this room, Fred Moten and Jericho Brown are talking about early modern poetics. What? The dialogue is free and open to the public, 6 o'clock. It also gives me great pleasure to announce the next 2 Race Before Race events. The next one will take place in mid-October at the University of Chicago and the Newberry Library, and the theme is performance. Then we'll return to beautiful Tempe in January 2024 for a symposium that is co-organized by ASU and the Shakespeare Center London, which is co-directed by Farah Kareem Cooper, and that theme will be trauma. If you are live tweeting, please use the hashtag RaceB4Race. As another part of the structural change for Race Before Race, I'm not going to waste any of our valuable time by introducing the speakers individually. Instead, you've got their full bios in the program, and you can read about them. They're amazing people. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Deborah Pia Sarkar, whose talk is entitled The Arts of English Poesy, Making Worlds and Making Race. Thank you all.